Good morning, welcome to another vlog. We are at Dunkin' Donuts with Ariana, and it's a pretty chilly Florida day, but we're gonna go in, get her some breakfast. I'm gonna grab a coffee, and then we're gonna be off to the tire shop to get a tire put on my car, and back home to take care of some chores. So stick along with me throughout the day. It's Wednesday, my day off. It's gonna be a great day with the girls. Oldest one only has a half day today, so we're going to be back to school here in a few hours to pick her up. So got a lot to do before then, so hang tight, and thanks for joining. All right, half day is over. It is 12 noon. We're getting ready to pull into my daughter's school and pick her adorable behind up and try to enjoy the second half of the day together. As you saw previously, getting some work done on the pool enclosure. That is coming along nicely. Just some bleach and some water, get rid of all that dirt and mold that was on the house when we bought it. So we're just trying to get it cleaned up finally 2 summers later. And it's a lot cheaper than paying for a new cage. So if anybody needs to get their pool cage cleaned, water and bleach does the trick, just with some rags and some elbow grease, and that's perfect. So like I said, we're pulling in the school. We're gonna pick her up, get headed home. My wife will be home a little bit after that. I'm gonna head to the gym for a leg day. I am super motivated today. Like I said, it's 12 o'clock. I have yet to eat. I did have my keto coffee this morning, but that's all I've had so far. Get a workout in, come back home, finish cleaning the pool cage, make my wife happy, and hang out with the kids and get ready for dinner. I will bring you along with me and show you what I'm eating. So we're parked. Time to go grab Addison from school. See you in a bit. All right, got Addison from school. On our way home. I am gonna eat something pre-workout. Getting kind of hungry, so I'll probably have an ounce of macadamia nuts, fat bomb. Then we'll be energized for the gym, and I will have some more black coffee. Hello. All right, so we are at the gym. It is just now 3 o'clock. I am getting ready to go crush a leg workout. If I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. This is by far my favorite workout day of the week. Legs, it's the most painful. You feel like you get the most for your effort. And you know, it just leaves you with the best feeling when you leave if you do it right. It should always be hard to walk to the car, obviously without an intense amount of pain. So I really do look forward to leg day. I always have. There's nothing more satisfying than a good leg workout. So, all right, everybody, workout is done. Leg workout is done. So that, be honest with you, that didn't really go as planned. I warmed up, got to 135, got to 185 on the squat rack. By the time I got to 225 and got to like my 3rd rep, that quad tear or whatever micro tear that's in my upper quad stretched and made it feel worse. It feels like the most disgusting knot ever in my thigh, but it got worse. I honestly almost fell over when I was under the squat rack, but luckily I was able to rack it before that happened. So you know, lucky there. You know, I cheat a little with how unstable my knees are, generally speaking. You know, relatively speaking, I should say. I do use a Smith machine for squats. It just tends to give me a little more stabilization, especially in my right knee, while, you know, I'm squatting with an unrepaired ACL. So having said that, I kind of just changed my thought and got a push workout in. Like I said earlier, I only got a pull workout in earlier this week on Sunday. So I transitioned to a push workout, got some chest, some shoulders, some traps, and then I did work some hams and glutes as best I could. So you know, all in all, it wasn't a bad thing. It was unfortunate that it happened. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to sit here and try to rehab for, and I'm really gonna have to, you know, force myself to warm up a lot before I get under the squat bar, just to make sure that my legs feel up to the challenge for the next couple weeks. or maybe even take next week off leg day and kind of work around that. You know, if you're fighting an injury, guys, it's really not worth it to force your way through it. Don't, I need to practice what I preach. Don't do it. It's not worth it in the long run. Let your body heal, rest and recovery. If you had a quad tweak, a shoulder injury, give it a couple weeks. Really warm up with some super light weight so you can kind of get a feel for how your body's feeling. Don't try to fight through it. It's really not worth it. With that said, I really want to talk about, and really just one thing in particular. There's a lot of myths out there with the ketogenic diet, right? Especially when it translates into this world of health and fitness and being in the gym and putting on muscle and that sort of thing. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about some of my favorite myths with the ketogenic diet. And the first one being that we just left the gym, the first one I'm going to talk about that I find is completely ridiculous for the majority of people is that you cannot build muscle on a ketogenic diet. I am proof that you can. See that? That's a muscle. I've been doing this for 2 years. Granted, I had a lot more muscle earlier in my 20s, 10 years ago. Now in my mid-30s, 2 kids, no ACL. Obviously some sort of overcompensation injuries that happen at least annually. I'm still able to put on muscle. Now, granted, I do a variation of my ketogenic diet, which kind of ties into the second topic, and we'll get to that in a second, but you can build muscle on the ketogenic diet. If you are truly keto, truly low carb, maybe under 30 total grams of carbs, sometimes even 20, mostly carnivore with a good, 5 handfuls of vegetables throughout the day or something like that, you will produce enough ketones, especially if you're overweight too, and you're allowing your body to break down fatty acids from your fat tissue in your abdomen area. Go Tampa Bay Rowdies. Anyways, if you're allowing your body to do that, you will be producing ketones at a high enough level to where you will preserve muscle tissue. Your ketones will be protein sparing, amino acid sparing. Your body will not need to convert those into energy as often as it might if you are depleting carbohydrates on a daily basis while you're in the gym. It's going to need to get that carb source from somewhere. In theory, that most likely comes through a process called gluconeogenesis, which most people in the keto community are afraid of, the breakdown of protein into new glucose. So you can build muscle, your ketones will spare your protein. With that transitions into my second topic. So and I've done some research, and I've done a lot of listening to and reading up on Dr. Bickman, who, if you guys don't follow High Intensity Health on YouTube, look up High Intensity Health, Dr. Mike, and his interview with Dr. Ben Bickman and his research on protein synthesis and ketones. You'd be surprised. So in the realm of low carb living and low insulin, gluconeogenesis is a must-have process. It is a necessity for your body to survive and get the amount of glucose it needs for its survival. So, and that is irregardless of protein intake, right? Your body is going to break down amino acids to find the little bit of glucose that it needs, because it's conserving the glucose that it's sparing when you're in ketosis for bursts of energy. And then you, especially for people who are active, you use that up. It needs to create more glucose. And if it needs to, and when it needs to, it will break down protein into glucose and store that for the next time it needs it. So gluconeogenesis is a product of low insulin levels, especially prolonged times of low insulin. Gluconeogenesis is a must-have. So with that said, he's found that when you consume protein, and adequate amounts of protein, even above 1 gram, he said, per kilogram, so over a gram per pound of body weight, you can, or under, whatever the conversion is, you guys know what I'm talking about, but 1 gram, even if it's per pound, you can go up to levels like that, sometimes even more, and your body will not kick you out of ketosis because of its protein consumption. Again, with prolonged levels of low insulin, you are breaking down glucose or breaking down amino acids into glucose anyways. So in theory, you're just replenishing that protein that your body needs to synthesize for new muscle tissue. So keep that in mind. Those are really two big myths that I find pertinent, especially to the active people who are in the gym trying to get results, trying to build muscle. The longer you maintain lean muscle, especially as you get later into life, it has some substantial health benefits that come with it. So build muscle at an early age. Don't be afraid of protein. My ketogenic diet is generally 60 to 70% fat and around 30 to 35% protein. That allows me basically 1 gram of protein for every gram of fat, and it balances out that way. I feel great. I feel energized. I would know if I'm out of ketosis because I'd feel sluggish. I would need, 8-9 hours of sleep instead of 6 and still wake up tired, that sort of thing. Sometimes I'd even get headaches if my glucose levels are too high now that I'm used to not having them. So don't be afraid of protein. And the last myth, because I know this video is going to start running long and I'm sitting here in the parking lot, I need to get home and get some work done. But the last myth I want to touch on is you have to eat fat to burn fat. Now, it's true that you can do that to train your body to use fat as its primary source of energy, but you do not need to gobble down jars of MCT oil and coconut oil all day long to burn fat. The higher your ketone levels does not mean you're burning more fat. It honestly, to me, personally, means your body is finding a way to break down body fat or convert MCTs or oils you're eating into ketones, and you're very inefficient at using them for energy, or you're very sedentary, so your body doesn't need that energy, and here all these ketones are floating around in your body. So that's my take on eating fat to burn fat. You need to switch up your macros, consume high-fat diets, especially in the beginning, in order for your body to remember and realize and remember that ketones and fat that you're taking in is now going to be your primary source of fuel in the absence of carbohydrates. And then when you're not taking in as much fat or eating as many calories because of the satiety effect of keto, then your body will break down fat from your own stores and use that as energy. So don't feel like you have to guzzle down bulletproof coffees all day long to burn fat. That's not how it works. Use fat as an energy source. Eat protein until you're full. Try to keep your macros, 1 gram of fat for 1 gram of protein, maybe even higher on the fat content if you're newer to keto or not very active. If you're not very active, then you might as well shoot for the standard macros, 80% fat, 25 and 15% protein, 5% carbs, or 75, 25, something like that. So keep that in mind. You can build muscle on keto. Again, I'm a good testament to that. Check out my Instagram. You can see progress pics. Protein, especially in an active person, will not kick you out of ketosis unless you're eating so much throughout the day that your body really can't handle it. 300-400 grams a day for a fairly sedentary person, maybe even more than 200 for a fairly sedentary person. And then you don't have to eat more fat to burn fat. Those are 3 big myths that I find with keto. Eat fat in the beginning to get adapted, and then move on. Your body will learn to use fat as its primary source of fuel after a few months. So keep those 3 things in mind. I hope that helps you. Again, if you got anything from that, please hit the like and subscribe. I am going to get home, get some more housework done, cook up some steak for dinner, and I will check in with you all in a little bit. Here it is in all its glory. 6 ounces of chicken breast, 8 ounces of sirloin, and a cup of broccoli. Pretty plain dinner. You waiting for me? But it's gonna be awesome. Chicken looks good. Steak looks good. Addison's tongue looks weird. So we're gonna go sit down, eat some dinner, and probably end the vlog here because it's getting a little long. So thanks for hanging out. If you got any good information from this or liked anything, learned anything, please subscribe and like this video. I appreciate it. dinner time for us. I will catch you all in another vlog.